Hey guys, it's Audrey. Welcome back. In this episode, we're gonna be going over my miscarriage story, so a bit of a trigger warning. 2 years ago, I received the best news I could have ever asked for. I was pregnant. Although I fought hard for my baby to come here and be born, my efforts weren't enough for it to flourish and develop. At the time I found out, I was going through a tough time, almost losing the battle to my depression and getting lost in life. Finding out I was pregnant during such a hard time literally saved me. It gave me a purpose, a reason to want to stay. It was but a ray of sunshine shining through the dark, deep water, lifting me to the surface with joy and happiness. After telling my boyfriend, I told my parents, then my family. Everyone was so happy to welcome a new family member. Not just one, but two. My brother and his wife were also expecting a baby. Everyone was filled with excitement. My head started getting filled with lots of ideas and dreams of what we would do for the baby shower, the gender reveal, the baby announcement, and everything. I was so excited. It was such a beautiful time. My parents spoiled me like if I was a little girl again, giving me all my cravings. My boyfriend and I were so excited. We even got our kid their first teddy bear. For once, life felt like it was gonna change, but for the better. But right when I felt that, the worst happened. I started to spot. I was around the 3 months mark. We rushed to the hospital and they told us that it's most likely gonna be a miscarriage. The second I heard that, my world shattered and I just began breaking down and crying. My mom told me I should take bed rest and try to be positive to see if there's any miracle of any type. I took a month off work and spent my days in bed, doing everything I can just to make sure my baby was okay. Our 4-month checkup appointment was coming. It was a day just before Valentine's. I remember me and my boyfriends had plans for after our appointment. If our baby was okay, we were gonna celebrate. They took us to the room where they did the ultrasounds, and I just remember I already knew the news was gonna be bad due to what the lady was telling us in the room. As she was doing the ultrasound, I just remember her saying, I can't say nothing, I can't say nothing. But my body already sounded too quiet compared to the past ultrasounds too. There wasn't 2 heartbeats, just one. They took us to the room and we waited. Right when the doctor came in, by the look of her face, I already knew. She spoke those words, saying our baby was deceased. Everything went dark, everything shattered, and I just felt my body go weak and the world get dark around me. I was basically inconsolable. There was nothing that the doctor or my boyfriend could say that would calm me down. My fantasy, my world, my everything, just dead inside me. Gone like that. All I could think is what I did wrong. Where did I go wrong? How could this happen? Why? Why my baby? I was distraught. It took me at least 30 minutes to calm down. Well, quote unquote, calm down. I just needed to be calm enough to get my blood drawn and to get in the car. When we exited the building, the sun was out, but it wasn't shining, at least for me. I didn't want to do anything or eat. I called my mom to tell her, and she tried to be positive, but I wasn't trying to hear it. I was mad, sad, disappointed. Everything just didn't seem fair. And honestly, to this day, things don't seem fair. Why God is all I could say. I would feel like I was going crazy. My baby was the thing I wanted most in this life, and it was just gone. The life I just created was no longer living, but still inside of me. That feeling is something I could never get over. The way your body just goes from knowing you have a life in you to nothing. We decided to go get ice cream because my boyfriend thought it could make me feel better. That ice cream itself didn't make me feel better, but I remember when we got there. My brother and my nephew were there. By the looks of it, they already knew what happened. And All my brother did was hug me. That hug meant more than any words could during that time. I still remember the warmth of it. But having to look at my nephew was the hardest part. He was like, "Are you okay, Nana?" And he just looked at me, and all I could do was rustle his hair and try to smile. My brother even paid for our ice creams. He really tried to do anything to crack through our cloudy, dark skies, but it was nothing but a glimpse of sunshine. Over the next few days, the effects started to kick in slowly. There was blood, cramps, my whole body was starting to ache. I would feel dizzy, nauseous, and my body just kept feeling worse and worse and worse. February 20th, 2022. I was lying down on my bed when suddenly the pain got 100 times worse, and I felt a rush go down me. My mom and me hurried up and went to the hospital. We were rushed into a room. I could barely walk, so they had to get me a wheelchair. I was in extreme pain, and I was very weak. I kept on crying because of how painful everything was. They had to give me 2 dosages of morphine and 2 of fentanyl to help calm the pain, and even then I felt like I was just drugged because everything still hurt. Or maybe it was just that I knew that my baby was gonna be taken from me. That this was the end. The 3 months just ended. They had to do non-stop ultrasounds and pelvic exams on me. But my baby wasn't coming out. She didn't want to. It's so sad because even my own kid didn't want to leave me. So she didn't want to come out. I had to get a D&C done. It's basically when they go in you with a tiny vacuum and remove your baby. I don't remember if they had to use any anesthesia. I was so drugged, and the trauma of everything makes it blurry to look back then. But all I know for sure is my baby was taken from me like it meant nothing. And just like that, I was thrown out of the hospital, lost, mad, upset, angry, and most heartbreaking, no longer a mother to my beautiful child. My boyfriend came to me after, and all he did was hug me while I laid in bed, distraught. The worst part is I was just left with nothing. No next steps, just nothing. What does a woman do after losing her child, after being told she's not a mother no more? You're expected to just go on with life like nothing when in 9 months or something you were supposed to be a mom to a beautiful baby. And now life just moves on like nothing. And that's so unfair. Because I'll tell you one thing, life did not get easy the second she left. If anything, it got harder in dealing with all the trauma and pain and issues that come with losing a child. Not just in oneself, but in one's relationship. No one really talks about all this. So this is why I made my channel and why I'm making my sculpture. So I could talk about what it's like to not have a baby, about losing one, to help others feel less alone, to let them know that there's plenty of women out here that are going through the same thing. Together we could make each other feel less alone. My boyfriend and me didn't open up about the first one like we did our second miscarriage. And when we did, so many other people came forward and told us that we're not alone, that they know exactly what we've been through. So please, if you're going through something like this, feel free to reach out, or if If you know someone going through this, please be there for them. Let them know they're not alone. Please talk to them. I know it's something hard to talk about, but the first step is reaching out to someone and letting them know they're not alone. Their baby is still with them even though they're not here. And that's the hardest thing to accept. That we have angels up in the sky now, even though we wish they were here with us. For some reason, God thought they would be better up there than down here. And that's where they're safest. Anyways, thank you guys for hearing my story. This is only part 1 of my miscarriage story. Hopefully you guys stick around to hear the second part on how life doesn't get easier after one. If not, it gets harder. And how angry you could get. Not just angry, but just how lost you could get and how hard it affects a relationship. I feel like it's stuff no one speaks about. But thank you all for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Much love. See ya.